Hey guys, how you doing? It's Philip Moran here on the Philip Moran guide series. Today we're going to talk about branding. Branding is very important, as you all know. It's become very popular in the world of entertainment, in the world of business, in the world of arts of all kinds. Branding is, to give you a definition, is basically what you represent, who you represent, and what's on people's minds when they think about that particular idea, industry, area of expertise, or area of their life, or area of their business. You want to come up as the top sort of Google search, the top of the Google searches in their mind when it comes to branding. So it's not something that you're going to do right away. It's not something you can just do and then you have a strong brand. This is something that's ongoing with everything you do. If anything, I would say that this branding component, if I do 20 videos, if I do 25 videos, if I do 55 videos, if I do 2,000 videos, if I do 5,000 videos, it doesn't matter, 100,000 videos. I'm going to tell you something. Branding is going to affect every one of those things that I talk about. Branding has to be instilled as the main ingredient in everything you do. Every time you think about yourself, every time you do something, every time you go to an audition, every time you buy something, everything you do, walk around, work out, eating, anything, this should be aligned with the idea of your brand, You should think, sleep, do everything, and always have branding in your mind. I'm always going to talk about branding whenever it applies. And like I told you, it does apply. I don't want to make a big speech about it all the time, but it applies. So I'll tell you what branding basically can do. And then I'll tell you a story of my own self, and then we can sort of go from there. As I told you before, these are non-scripted videos. I don't have sort of guidelines on what I'm going to say next. I want it to be spontaneous. Again, what I'm trying to show you and teach you is, and also practicing myself, is to practice. Your career as an actor, your career as a performer, your career as anything to do in the entertainment industry is a reflection of your lifestyle. I'm not saying go around all the time and pretend you're a different character. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying, it's much more effortless. It's much more the least path of resistance when you have more leverage. So I'm trying to teach you how to build leverage that in bits and pieces, it's going to amount to a whole whack of leverage when you get to the end, or even when you get to the middle, or even just when you get to the 1/4 point, whatever the case is. I'm saying, let's be smart about it, not just work hard. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys. So, so the brand, so part of not doing these as a scripted video is to really search in my mind what I'm going to say next. Really search how to put things in order and together. I'm practicing myself. This is not easy. Try it yourself and see. You'll get better and better as you do each video, because that's how it works. Practice makes, I'm not going to say perfect, I'm going to say better. So if you're going to be better and better and better every day, then obviously it's working towards you becoming very unique in your own way, comfortable in your own skin, comfortable doing these videos, comfortable doing this work or any kind of work, Comfortable becomes second nature to you. You become more convincing. You got more leverage. So we have two very important words, branding and leverage. So practice. So let's talk about branding. Now, there's different ways you can get work, right, as an actor. After you've done your studies, and I recommend you train in a lot of different ways, right? We're not just talking about acting classes. We're talking about voice. We're talking about movement. We're talking about getting in shape for the camera. We're talking about just as you practice on camera, you get to see what you need to work on. We're talking about diction. We're talking about any accents, vocal accents. We're talking about learning which look works for you best. We're talking about a lot of things. So basically, the training has to do with everything. So don't forget the training. Don't forget the based on the branding that you're working on to become that person that would be that brand. Learn how to do that. So if it's a lawyer, if it's a cop, if it's a construction worker, start to do your research. Now you can be, Philip Moran, the normal guy that walks around and still is a good person, okay, but doesn't walk around thinking he's a cop, thinking he's the lawyer, thinking he's a prime minister, thinking he's he's the president, thinking he walks around as Philip Moran. Then you have Philip Moran that can work as these other characters because he's done his research, he's done his breakdowns, he's done his backstories, he's done the research, he's actually seen them physically. Not just reading upon them and researching them, which is good too. You can also watch, if you do watch other movies and TV, well, these are just interpretations from other actors. Now, you don't want to do that. Become the same person as they're portraying because that's their interpretation and you need to make up your own. You need to have your own because you're unique. You're your own person in this whole planet and world. Remember that. So the training goes far beyond any scope that I can just say, it's just this or that. Training, right? Keep going, training, always training. In fact, when you're not acting on camera, I would suggest you be training in class somewhere. Pick and choose your topic that you want to study most, that you want to really dive into. Pick and choose your instructors. As you go on in your journey, you'll definitely meet people that will introduce instructors into your life. If you do your research, you'll bump into instructors that'll really teach you something as well, through books, through podcasts, through all kinds of things you'll learn. But start, right? Starting is, I heard from my mentors, starting is halfway done. Starting is halfway done. So back to our list. So after you've done your training, after you've done you're working out and now you understand how to work out for the camera, you also you've done your research, which is all part of that. Training is huge. It's probably just everything. You had your profiles in order. So basically you had your profiles, your sites, they're all consistent, they're all professional looking. Anyone that comes to the page can actually find things very simply and they can read them very simply. And the structure is very easy, so don't make it complicated if you do have anything like that set up. We will be talking about that in the future and clarifying some really good ideas regarding that stuff. But for now, we're doing this episode of branding. So after you do all that stuff, or even during, remember, branding goes all the way through. It doesn't just start one place and end. It's all the time. So branding will allow producers, directors, casting, other actors, production companies, um, um, people in university creating projects and creating movies and TV shows and art and entertainment and the world of voice work, animation, video games. The list goes on and on and on, right? When you're talking about the internet, you're talking about global, right? The access that people have to get in touch with you, it's global. So I want you to understand and get excited about that. Because if you have a strong brand, they're going to be able to find you because they're searching. When they need something, they're going to search and they're going to find that which you really, really, really are, that uniqueness of you. They're going to be searching for something, right? And if you've really done your homework, you're going to appear to them like, my God, this is the answer I'm looking for. So a quick story with that is, I can't tell you, I guess, names or any projects, but a lot of my projects are listed on my IMDb. Make sure you visit my IMDb. I do have a link in every episode at the bottom of the description. I think it appears, but you can find me, Philip Moran, IMDb. You can find me on Facebook, a lot of different places, but I do have a link. And we'll talk about that as well. In fact, we'll make that as, that's one of the profile sites anyway. So we do have an episode on that. So a quick story, and you can relate to this as well, right? Because things will happen in your life and you won't really know what they mean. Well, think about all these stories that you hear, these true stories, because that helps you make decisions sometimes. That helps you make create some clarity. That helps you, create some clarity, make a decision so you can actually gain some more leverage. So I met this one person and we're sort of talking and, in a business sense as well. And a lot of people, once you have some sort of career built and some sort of branding, strong branding, they want to help you. They want to be part of what you're doing because you have something of leverage that they can also share as well. So remember that, right? It doesn't matter who they are. They're going to think, wow, yeah, I want this person in my project. I want I want to work with this person. This person's built something. It's valuable. It takes years and years and years and years and years to build something like this. Sure, they're going to want to invest in it. Sure, they're going to want to, be part of that, right? So there was just a suggestion, basically, on behalf of myself, and do you have an actor role for this friend of mine? Here's his name, and this and that. Well, the director definitely did some research, right? He did some research and quickly saw my picture or saw my headshot, saw something, and all of a sudden he goes, wow, this is a character I've been looking for. This is the character I've been searching for 2 years. As soon as he saw my photo, and the weird thing was, and the incredible thing was actually, that he found a photo that was taken from me, taken of me at a TIFF party. So basically, it wasn't even like the films I did or a professional headshot. It was actually a photographer that had been hired wherever she came from. I think it was the States. And she was taking photos, or maybe she wasn't hired. She was just doing that freelancing. And she was taking photos. And apparently she liked taking my photo. So it ended up being online somewhere. And he found this photo. And I go, oh yeah, I remember that. That was a TIFF party. Where'd you find that photo, right? He goes, well, this is where I want you to be. This is a character. I go, wow. I go, So you did your research on me. And right there, he did offer me a role. Obviously, no audition required. He saw my stuff. I sent him a link to my IMDb. He looked, he searched, he enjoyed. You know, he got to know me much better through my videos, through my movies, through my clips, through my profiles, and basically he was comfortable to offer me a role. That was soon followed with, you know, putting me on IMDb under his movie, and he acted towards that as well, which is part of this whole thing. Is if people are really interested in you, they'll do the actions, right? They'll offer you a role, offer you a contract, whatever it is. They'll put you under their IMDb, under their movie cast list and all that stuff. So I'm one of the main cast, which is great, which is great. And this was all done by just word of mouth. And then the director being so excited that he had to find, he was doing his research. So no audition required. I did, however, have to do an interview. So basically an interview is another part of the process. And that was just meeting up with him. He wanted to meet me in person. When they do that, it definitely means they just want to see if you look like your photo still, if you've been taking care of yourself. You know, they want to just meet you in person because, you know, they want to see the actual person talk and see if we can get along, see if, you know, and he loved me. Basically, he just, so that's what the power of branding can do. And I can't tell you, but, you know, where that's going to lead to, but I'm sure it's going to lead to either more projects with that same director, or it's going to lead to other projects because he has other people he associates all the time with different events. That project, once it gets filmed, once it gets aired, once it gets on TV, once it gets in movies, once it gets in the film festivals, once it gets in different events, we're going to associate with other people, and people are going to say, "Wow, you're that actor. I have a script for you. You want to read it?" So you're going to get this kind of stuff. So listen, it can happen very quickly. It doesn't take a long time anymore. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Get excited, because any investment you put in your own branding will amount to, I can't even tell you, but it'll overlap the kind of effort you're going to put in to create the brand in the first place. You're not going to be able to catch up, is what I'm trying to tell you. You're gonna have so many offers. You're gonna be so busy with your own personal life, with your acting career. You're gonna have a clear picture, a clear destination, a clear journey, path, plan, all set up. And it's going to feel so good. No matter what's going on around you, you're going to feel so good because you've built your brand. People love your brand works a lot, and you have people contacting you, which really goes into the other thing that I say about having an agent or a manager or anything like that. And really, once you have your brand strong, you can still have some sort of representative that represents you, either in the capacity of an agent or a manager. And we can definitely consult with you regarding that, and we can make a proper decision based on that. But but if you build a strong brand, I gotta tell you, it's just mind blowing. It's the best investment that you'll ever make. But we have to do our research, right? So, with that said, I just want to continue with a brand. A brand can make you feel, each and every day can make you feel comfortable, relaxed. Searching is good. It's very active. It's living, searching. It's always constant. But you want to relax sometimes. You don't just want to keep searching. You don't want to just keep asking the world, the universe, where's my career going? What am I doing? Am I wasting my time? When is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? When do I do this? When do I do that? Or yarning. It's like, I want to do this. I want to act. I want to do this. I want to do that. All that stuff is great. And at times it can be healthy. but you also want to live your life, right? You want to live your life. You don't want to just keep on searching every day, because then you're not enjoying your life. So what I would say is, you know, when you brand, you live more comfortable. Even though you're not getting what you really want, even though you're not getting much of what you really want, even though you still have a clear image or a picture of your life and where you're going, and to be honest, your brand will be strong, and there won't be anything else that you'll think about outside your brand, because that would be foolish. You built this direction and you've traveled like so much. Why on earth would you want to go backwards and start all over again? You wouldn't want to do that. So when you have your brand, you really clear cut make up your decision of the direction you're going to go. You're not going backwards. I'll tell you that much, because that would be foolish. And no person in the right mind, in a business sense, would do that. So you're actually making your decision to go backwards much more tough, way tough. There wouldn't be any reason to do that. So again, branding would make you wake up, go to sleep, do your auditions, have your normal life with someone or yourself, enjoy your life, do everything in your life much more relaxed and comfortable, because you wouldn't be searching all the time. You wouldn't be asking, you wouldn't be begging, you wouldn't be, asking yourself if you're good enough or anything like that. It'd be part of the process. Everything would be part of the process of your whole journey, but you have a clear destination of where you're going. Once you make a decision of all the choices, and you make a decision, and you streamline this path for yourself, that's the best thing. That's the best thing. So that's what branding does as well. Branding, it makes you feel accomplished. It makes you feel like you own something. You own a part in this big picture of the entertainment world, and I'll tell you how that works. You go to an event, you go to a TIFF party, you go to the awards ceremonies, anything like that. You go anywhere in public sometimes, and people recognize you. Why? Because your brand is strong. People are talking about it. People are using you in different productions, but it's always the same sort of idea or brand, and it's getting stronger and stronger and more repetitive. So people are always seeing your face somewhere, and they're always constantly, remembering you. Even if they don't remember your name, they're going to say, "Hey, you know what? You look familiar. What have I seen you?" Right? And you'll say, "Well, I'm an actor." Or maybe they'll introduce themselves, say, "Look, I'm so and so, and I do this and do that." And you'll say, "I'm an actor. My name is Philip Moran." And they'll say, "Philip Moran, yeah, that your face is so well. I've done that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." And you sort of connect so quickly. Right away, you become welcomed into this person's life far greater than you were 2 minutes ago. You built so much trust. They quickly connected the dots in their own minds, and all of a sudden, if they have anything that they're working on, or know anyone that's working on anything that you'd be good for, my God, they start to present these ideas to you. So you're like, wow, oh yeah, for sure. Like, send me the script, or contact my manager, or send it to me here, or let me take a look at it. And I'm telling you, those people know 10 people, and every person you meet knows 10, 20 people. That's just how it works, because look at where you are, the different events you're in, right? It's all networking. And people network with people that have to offer something, and they have to offer something in return. So look at me, right? Here's my story. Actually, the same place as that photo was taken of me by that photographer that director ended up finding online somewhere. The same place, the same night, I met the director and the creator of my TV show, Heroes Manufactured, Creators Unleashed. And now Heroes Manufactured series of different type of shows. So mine is Movie Minutes, and we have a lot of other shows. Be sure to check them out on YouTube. You just put Heroes Manufactured Movie Minutes, and you'll find my stuff. It's actually on my channel as well. And then from there, it'll link you to other stuff. I met him, and I got my first connection with that director, creator. Back then was an agent, and I trusted him. He trusted me, and we started to get along. We created an instant bond because, first of all, I was at that place, and he figured, well, if he's here, then he must know some people. He must be connected. I thought the same thing, right? Because it's all networking. And then the other thing was that I quickly have my profile tools with me. So I quickly emailed him a link. He checked me on the IMDb, whatever the case was. It worked very quickly, very easily. And he said, you know what? Here's my number, or here's my contact information. Let's get together. Let's talk about me representing you. I think I have some really good projects that we can work on together. And from that point on, and from that day on, look at what we've achieved for going on our third year now. Under Amazon Prime, we have our TV show, 6 episodes, Heroes Manufactured, Creators Unleashed, and we also have the online series, which is the Movie Minutes and everything else. And definitely under Amazon Prime. So under Amazon Prime. So what I'm trying to tell you is branding is powerful. You feel comfortable going to a place. If you're okay with being popular, you'll feel comfortable going to a place because your brand is strong and people recognize you. You know, you feel like a celebrity walking around. You know, there's a saying in the Spider-Man movie, with great power comes great responsibility. Now, this is true when you start building your brand, right? Because Spider-Man had a brand. Well, this will be your brand, whatever brand that is, because with great power, which is your brand, comes great responsibility. So you'll be in charge of people wanting to get to know you. People want to hear your story. People want to get to work with you. People, you know, this is incredible stuff. Now, at the same time, you got to be professional, and you got to be, you become a role model, you become, whatever the case is, right? You want to be able to understand that building this brand, you're affecting people's lives. You're affecting the way they think. You're affecting the way they dream, right? So with great power comes great responsibility, right? And I'm sure, you know, thanks to Stan Lee, he probably quoted that expression. You know, either way, I thank whoever created that saying, because it's just amazing. But that's not me saying it or me owning it, but it comes from something I've heard, and that's the whole point of experience in the industry you're in. You get to really hear and see and learn, and it's great. So your brand will become your greatest power, and with that you'll inherit great responsibilities, great abilities to affect other people in their lives, great ability to affect the whole industry in general, the whole pattern, maybe designation, maybe whatever, right? It's just you affect things with great power of your brand. You'll have great responsibilities and great effects. So that's very powerful when you're walking around and you have a brand. It happened to me many times in TIFF parties. I often say, when you go to a TIFF party and you have something of bargain, you have leverage. Do you remember, again, I'll quote Dr. Strange when he says, "I've come here to bargain." And the big demon says, "No, no," right? And he says, I can die and die over and over again, but I've come here to bargain. I got leverage on you. You're not gonna. You're my prisoner. Okay. Well, that's branding is leverage. Branding is leverage. Bargaining. You have something to bargain. So any producer, director, writer, anyone working on something, casting, maybe an agent, will definitely say, "Wow, you do have something to bargain, and we can talk." So they're not just there to socialize, although that's what the whole night seems like. But if they find an opportunity, or they find someone of worthwhile communication with, or something, like a networking idea, maybe they're looking for their actor for their next lead role or something. Listen, they're going to spend the time. They're going to be excited, because everybody wants to work with people that have something to offer. They look professional. They have a background. They have a strong brand. It's going to take their project and move it forward. They're going to be excited to talk to you. So that's what happens as well. You start to get stopped by people, and start, and they're going to start pitching things, right? They're going to start offering you things. So it becomes a worthwhile event, outing that night, because you start getting offers, you start getting more work, right? So although you went because it was an event and you dressed up and you look pretty, you may even have a date, it's really networking. It's getting more work. It's building your brand stronger. You being out there, your face is being connected to your brand. So you see how powerful this is becoming? This is becoming very powerful. Um, other branding benefits. Well, you may not be overwhelmed with wanting to find an agent, or I need representation. Somebody's going to help me get work, because your brand will be specific. Your brand will be strong. Your brand will be able to stand on its own 2 feet. And again, remember I told you that you went streamlined that way, 2 miles or whatever, 5 miles, 10 miles, 100 miles. Why would you want to come back and start all over again, back to zero? You don't want to do that. So from that point on, you would not only be protective of your brand, nurturing of your brand, you know. So when someone comes to you and they want to represent you, you want to do your research. This is not, I don't care who the agent is. I don't care who the manager is. I don't care who it is. You're not going to say, oh, wow, yeah, you represent these big actors. I want you. I'll come over to sign. You're not going to do that. You're going to say, listen, you're going to say, thank you very much for your consideration. If you don't mind, I need 2 days, 1 day, 5 days to think about it. You can say, I do have a manager. I want to go over it with him. You can say, if they really want you that bad, they'll give you that leverage of time. They'll give you that time to make a decision, probably because a real agent that wants to work with someone of value, someone that's interested in working with that agency, someone that's excited to work with that agency anyway. You want to work with someone that's excited to work with you, right? So what I would say is you say that, because you got to do your research. First of all, you should know how good your agent really is. And this is not just agency, but it could be a particular agent within the agency, because eventually agents sort of move around. Okay? They even go on their own. So what I would say is the agent is the most important person you're connecting to, not just the agency. The agency has a name. However, if the agent has a strong brand himself, then he could be stronger than the agency name. We don't know that. You got to do your research. See what kind of movies he's landed. See what kind of actors he represents. Ask other people what they know about that agent or agency. You can do your research. You may have, if you're in the industry constantly, you'll hear about agents and agencies as well. See what kind of casting director that agent works with. See what the casting director is in charge of casting. How many projects? You know, some casting directors have more than other casting directors because the director, see, loves working with that casting director. That casting director will love to work with your agent or not love to work with your agent, which means you get a lot of work or opportunities possibly, or you don't. Because really, if you go right to the front line, it's the executive producer and the production company, the main actor, that hires the director, and possibly the director is just as big, but let's say director will hire the casting director will hire the agent, and the agent obviously represents you. So you see, eventually they can't make up their own minds anyway. They have maybe some pull here and there, but eventually casting directors will definitely say, okay, we'll use this agency, this actor from this agency, and introduce them to the director introduce them to the casting, to the executive producer, the production company, or the main actor, say, listen, this is who we pick to work with you or to be part of this production. So basically that's how it works. Now, if you want to get into a project and you have a strong brand, you may even bypass the agent and the casting director. Okay, you go right straight to the production director, writer, main actor, executive producer, if you get to a position that you're in an event where you can meet these people and they'll say, you know what, I'm the director of such and such a production. We're casting for this role, but I think you'd be great for it. Now you've bypassed an agent, you've bypassed a casting director, which means auditions. This guy basically is offering you the part. And that's the power of branding. Get excited about that, man, because when that happens, get excited about that. When that happens, that's just bypassing what I call nonsense. Okay, just nonsense, just jumping over hoops, basically. And meanwhile, they probably have already cast the person they want. They just have to just do the due diligence and do the casting and all that stuff. It's just a waste of time sometimes. It's good practice in the beginning, but eventually you'll see how much of a waste of time it is. Because eventually, if you're that good, they're not even going to audition you. Because your brand is so strong, they'd be foolish to audition you for anything other than what you're branding for. And when your brand is so strong, they'll be foolish to not invest in something that's really strong in the first place. They already say, you know what, this guy's already built his brand. This girl's already done the homework for us. We just have to represent this person, hire them, offer them the role, and that's it. And then we have all the social media. We have this guy. It's there, right? We're investing in something that's already been invested on itself. So that's incredible. And so branding, in short, is the quickest way eventually to getting work, the quickest way to building your image worldwide, the quickest way to bypassing all the little steps, you know, the agency, the audition, the casting directors, and maybe even the director. You know, although directors and actors want to work together, want to be comfortable, but you know, being professional is the key as well. Being professional. As a brand, the characteristics of your brand should be, it's clear and concise, it's unique, it's professional. The person that's meaning you, the actor, looks professional, looks like he's done the training, looks like he's confident, looks like he looks good. So these are all the components of your brand. It's global. It's got a good following behind it. It's got good social media. It's got positive social media. It's got very little questions, negative questions about it. It looks like a lead. He looks like he's built himself a lead persona. We want someone that looks like a star. We want to invest in a star. Look at his profile. It looks very organized. We go through it. It looks very organized, looks very concise, consistent right through the globe. Every profile is consistent, or the best possible way to be consistent. He's got his own professional website. It's all clear, precise. It's up to date. Everything's up to date. He looks like his photos. He constantly invests in his career. So this is what the brand, the components of the brand carry. The brand carries as components, as ingredients, as the makeup of that brand, as supporters of that brand. So you can see how strong I feel about brand and branding. Give me a heads up, give me a message, give me a thumbs up. I really want you to let me know what you think about these videos and what more you would like to see me sort of talk about. As I said, these are non-scripted, and basically I'm just counting all the information in my head to be able to be accessible for you when I do these videos. So, and try to keep it consistent to this particular subject matter, because although I tend to go off and off and off here and there, I hope to stay consistent, because we have a lot to cover, a lot of components for this Philip Moran guide series to cover. A lot of things that always come up each and every day. When I'm in the shower, when I'm just driving around, when I'm just sort of not thinking about acting or my work, things come to me, right? And I have to jot them down because they're so important. What else can I say about branding? Well, it's important to protect your brand. You want to protect it from a lot of reasons, a lot of ways. You want to make sure that every project you get involved with, make sure, because you're involved with that project, well, your brand is part of you. So if something happens in that project, or something is contained in that project that's negative, that's very damaging to your professional career within the entertainment industry, that somebody in that project has a really bad reputation, has bad associations, has components to the career that can black book you, which is a real thing, by the way. All I'm saying is protect your brand. It's better to say no, thank you very much. I've decided not to be part of this project. I have a conflict of interest with another project. Or thank you very much. Right now, I'm choosing to travel. I'm enrolled in a very strict program for the next 4 months, and I can't do this project. Have a real good logical explanation. Be polite, be nice about it. But at the same time, you don't want to be part of that project if it has a bad stream in there that can taint your career in some way. So be careful with that. Protect your brand. Protect your brand with how you present yourself. Be professional. Be classy. Be a star, right? If this is what you're trying to go for as far as roles, act like that person, right, all the time. Make the right connections. Protect your brand by making the right connections, adding to your social media, to your roster, to your connections list, to your daily events that you're going to, or events in general, connecting people, and you're building your circle, you're building your network. Build your network with people of substance, people that can actually add to your career, add to your brand, not tainted. So making the connections from the very start is important. And let go of people if you feel like it's a risk. It's too much of a liability there. You work so hard for your brand, you don't want to taint it. You don't want to damage it. Because remember, why are you doing this? It's not just for you, right? You're doing this to help people. You're doing this to be a role model. You're doing this to be part of productions that eventually the productions sort of change how people live, how people feel, how people act, how people think, how people dream, right? So basically, it's for a bigger picture. So anything that damages you and your brand will damage the big picture. So your service, right? So basically, you have a responsibility to protect your brand. So I think that's very important to know, protecting your brand. Um, Manage your brand, sustain your brand, nurture your brand, and be excited about your brand. This is very important. When people meet you, not only do they want to meet someone that has built a brand, but they want to be someone that's excited about their brand. They have no questions in their mind that this person represents that brand 100%. You know, we're going to hire this person. We're going to give him a lead role, whatever the case is. We're going to pay him this much money. We're going to give him a contract. We're going to make them. We're going to invite them into our network. We have no questions about this actor. He's built such a great brand, or actress. She's built such a great brand, and she has a. You know, it's just we feel confident. No questions in their mind. No negative questions in their mind, and that's what you want. I hope this has been very helpful. Again, hit me up with the comments. Let me know if there's anything else I've missed. Um, you know, I guess one thing I could add is, well, I probably have mentioned it, but all your videos, all your photos, even the clothes you wear, sort of keep it within a consistent brand. When people get to meet you, they sort of recognize you based on how you looked the last time as well. That's how it works. So for me, I wear very nice, classy, artsy sort of upscale clothing. And it's consistent right through. When I go to events, when I do these videos, it's very simple. I got my favorite shirt, and that I treat like $1 million. I got this, by the way, in Indonesia, and it was purchased for me by a friend, and it's very much appreciated. It's I love it. It's pure linen. It's just amazing, just amazing. The brand. If I can show you, yeah, here we are. So you see that? That's Heroes Manufactured, Creators Unleashed. That's Movie Minutes. I have it on my phone. I have also something like my headshot on my phone if I want to show somebody. So basically, I have my tools with me. It's not like I'm just telling you these things and I'm sort of gibberishing. This is real things that I'm doing. I'm sharing with you for free. I'm sharing with you because I want you to succeed in this industry. I want to network with you one day. I want to build this network with you. I want I want to work with you on different projects, because eventually I'm going to work on projects. I'm going to need good actors. I'm going to need good people I can trust. I'm going to need good people that have branded themselves, have a strong brand, that have sort of said, you know what, I trust this guy, Philip Moran. I'm going to do what he says. And you've done it, and you succeeded. And and I trust, and I love the fact that you made a decision that day, and you went for it, and you gained something of just tremendous value. And you did it because you trusted me, and that's valuable to me as well. So your photos, make sure they're consistent with your branding. Your videos online, the kind of person you're representing, make sure it's consistent to the work that you do. Anything that, and all your profile sites, anything, right? Just start thinking about my brand, right? My brand. But also remember, you're a person. You can be simple, like this, like me. You don't have to be dressed up all the time. I would suggest, though, that you look good, like you want to look like your brand. So you see me, I shave, right? I shave, I shower, I really do what I need to do to feel like a winner, right? So, and consistent with my brand, right? I'm myself, right? So I want you to do that as well. Again, that's a great session. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, this is the Philip Moran Guide series. This one was definitely strictly branding. And we have a lot of other episodes coming up, a lot of great information. Please don't just listen to them. Please don't just follow me. Please don't just share them. Please don't just save them, but please use them. Use the information. Hit me up with comments and suggestions. Hit me up with anything that you need help with. Maybe I can help you. I can make a video for it because I have a lot of information. I can't just read your mind, right? So again, thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you a great day.